get started. Britt and I are nutrition educator advisors from Delaware County, Penn State Extension. Nutrition Links is our program. This is our Injustice for All poster, just letting you know that we do not discriminate. Anyone is welcome into our classes. This is our funding statement. This is telling you that we are funded by the state, local, and federal governments. And this is Nutrition Links information. If you needed to contact them for any reason, it would be 888-PSU.3535 or online using Nutrition Links at psu.edu. So John did mention about a evaluation. Now I'm going to try, let's everybody keep their fingers crossed, and I'm going to try, can I stop this for a minute? I want to show you the evaluation. Let me first give you a little background on the evaluation. Brittany and I do senior workshops, and then we also do in school workshops with students in 3rd and 4th grade in area school districts. Normally we go into the schools starting now in October. Our new programming year actually started October 1st. So normally Britt and I would go into the schools now, but obviously that's not quite happening. We have had some interest, but we haven't gotten it off the ground yet. So for now, we are going to continue doing our seniors. We usually don't do our seniors until April and run till September. But this year's going to be a little different. We're going to start now. Now, with that said, normally we need to do a evaluation, and we would do it in the beginning, which would be today, and then 4 or 5 classes. We usually do 6 lessons. I don't know how many lessons we'll do this year. We may do a whole year. I'm not sure, but in and around that 4th, 5th, or 6th lesson, we would do another evaluation. The reason why we need to do an evaluation is because we need to see, well, I don't need to see it, but my upper people need to see impact. We need to see whether this program is actually working. If it changes anyone's, health decisions, anything that you may be, maybe you've learned something new and you've changed the way you're eating or doing something. So we have a few ways that we can do this evaluation. So let me see if I can stop the share and show you the actual evaluation. Let's see, this is going to work. All right. Do you see that? Do you see the evaluation? Does anybody see it?
No.
No.
No. All right, so let me go back. Let me do this. Okay. Share screen. Ah, there it is. So let me pull it up and share. Now, do you see it?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And what I would do, this is the form that if we were together, I would hand this out and ask you to fill it in. Since we're not together, I have it so that I could send it to you via email. All you need here is your first name, last initial. I don't even need your full name, okay? These would be some of the questions. Now, it's rather lengthy. It's about 15 questions. Maybe it's a little bit longer than that, 18, it's like 20 questions. So some of these questions may not pertain to you, and that's okay. If they wouldn't pertain to you, just don't answer them. That's okay, okay? What I would need you to do with this is I'd send it to you. You would fill it out. Then what you would need to do is save it, okay? Go over to your file up here, save as, however you want to name it, Nutrition, Penn State. Then I would need you to email me back a separate email and attach this file to that email and send it back to me. A little complicated, a little more steps to it. The reason is if you were to just fill this out and send it back, it comes back to me blank. So I don't get the information. So that's why you need to save it. All right, now let me stop this share. Okay, go back here, share again. Oh no, wait, no. Let me do something here. Share. Share. Okay. Now, do you see this one? It has one of those codes on it. Okay. Now, this one is a little easier if you have a phone or a tablet or something else. So that what you would do is you would take your phone and you could do it. I could send this to you, or you could do it now. I know there's people on the phone. I mean, yeah, people on the phone and people on live. So, but you would take, so I could send this out to you, and all you would do is put it up to your, to the QR code, and at the top, I don't know if you can see this, at the top there's a, like a link, and you would hit the link and fill it out, and that's it. Submit it, and you're done. Mm-hmm. The third way, which is the way I don't care which way we do this. None of this, I want it to be as easy as possible for you guys. The third way would be a phone call. Okay, so I would call you, or Brittany would call you. Shoot, where'd it go? Okay, my finger. We're back. Either myself or Brittany would call you, and we could do it on the phone, okay? I just wanted to give you 3 different options. What I would need then from you is I would need phone numbers, okay? So if you're willing to give me a phone number, I promise you I would not bother you other than to do this evaluation, okay? And I would appreciate it. We will have some very nice incentives to give out. We actually have a new bag. So if you do both surveys, you would get the bag. It's like a grocery bag, but it's a cooler grocery bag. So very nice. That's one nice incentive. Calendars with recipes in them. A nice, I don't have everything with me, a nice measuring cups. We have cutting boards. We have thermometers. So we have some really nice incentives. So if you fill these, are you
going to email, excuse me, are you going to email this information so that you can just send it back? Or are you going to upload? How do you, or do you want to upload it? How do you want it?
Whatever way you find is easiest for you. So John will send you guys out the email with both the Qualtrics as well as the other form that you can fill out, save, and then send it back to me.
Okay. Okay.
And then if there's anyone that wouldn't mind me giving them a phone call, if they can't do it any other way, I can call them. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Now you got a white screen here. Nothing's, we don't see nothing, but just okay.
Do you see anything?
There you go. That looks a little bit better. It's like bright-eyed. I was like, what?
But now you see something?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was,
I have a Mac, so I know what you're going through.
I don't have to do that every time I get together with you guys. I just have to do it this time around. When we were doing this before, obviously it was COVID, and they weren't really requiring us to get the evaluations. Now they're getting a little pickier, and they really would like us to get some evaluations. So that's something I need. I do need. All right, so let's get back to this. All right, some great grains. Grains are a great food, and lots of times people tend to cut them out of their diets because of the carbs that are in grains. So not a very good idea. You want to try and keep grains in your diet. It's all about the kind of grain and the amount of grain that we're eating. So we're going to talk about what a whole grain is. We're going to talk about knowing the health benefits of those whole grains, and then learn about how much we should eat each day. So this is a whole grain. The outer part of it is the bran, so that gold with the little spiky things, that's the bran. The inner part, which looks like a little cobblestone, that's your endosperm. And then the little red part at the bottom, looking like a kidney, is your germ. So I'm going to share my screen again because I want to Uh-huh. I know I'm really taking chances here. Woo! Okay, we're gonna stop the share. This time do you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me? All right, good. So it's like a piece of popcorn. Can you see my popcorn? The outer piece of the popcorn, that white piece, is your bran. The in piece, that piece, inside there, that kind of gets stuck between your teeth, that's your endosperm. And the kernel would be your germ. So popcorn is a great whole grain. Again, there we go. Popcorn's a great whole grain. So if you're eating popcorn, plain popcorn, not with everything on it, it's a great whole grain. It's a great snack. I have this little bag. You probably can't see it, but I have this little bag, and it's only 100 calories. It doesn't have a very small amount of fat, a little bit of sodium. You're getting at least 1 gram of fiber. So popcorn is a great snack to eat. All right. So whole grains have the germ and the bran, and they have the protein, B vitamins, minerals, and fiber in them. Okay, so that germ and bran are full of that. Protein, B vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The endosperm is just the protein and the carbs. Okay, so it's important to have all of that. We need protein, we need B vitamins, we need minerals. Uh-oh, what the heck's going on? Do you guys see that? Remind me later.
Yep, we can see the green.
Yeah, but my computer just wanted to upgrade. Nope, not now.
Oh, now it went to white screen.
It's a white screen now? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Here is paused. That is because my computer decided it wanted to upgrade. Stop it. Now do you see it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, so that's your whole grain. All those things are in that grain. All those things are in that popcorn. When we eat refined grains, they take that germ and the bran out. So they take that protein, the B vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber out. And they only are left is the endosperm, okay? They can put the protein, B vitamins, and minerals, they can put some of that back in, but they cannot put the fiber back in. So that's a huge thing when it comes to grains, okay? We need that fiber. It's important. A lot of, they're learning so much more about our microbiome, our digestive system, and the foods that we're eating. And grains is a big part of that, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about what some of those grains might be. Does anybody want to throw in the chat, if I can figure out where the chat is on my computer?
Go.
I can't figure it out, so I don't have that little thing. Oh, there it is. Let me see. So in your chat, if you wanted to list some grains that you might know, some whole grains that you might know. Oh, wow. Buckwheat, wow. Yep. Quinoa, absolutely. Wow. Beans. Beans aren't really a whole grain. Beans are more of a protein food, not really a whole grain. They would be considered protein and vegetables. Beans would be considered. Barley, yep, yep. All right, great job. You guys already know what the whole grains are. So whole grains are a major source of energy in our diet. That's those carbs. So they fit right in with my plate. Half the plate being those fruits and veggies where we're getting vitamins. The grains give us that energy, and the protein give us muscles. And we need the energy that we get from grains in order to help build those muscles, to exercise so we can build those muscles. So we actually really need those grains in our diet for energy. It really is important. All right. So, soluble fiber. Now, oatmeal is a great source of soluble fiber. So what does soluble fiber do for us? That actually reduces our blood sugar All right, so it's very important for people that might have diabetes, right? If you have diabetes, you want to lower that blood sugar. And it also can help decrease your cholesterol. So again, it can help lower your risk for heart disease. So, you know, important, again, to eat the good fibers, things such as oatmeal, right? Barley is another good source of soluble fiber. So you can see here in this oatmeal, 1 cup is going to give you 4 grams of fiber. Pretty important and pretty impressive stuff that we need. All right. Insoluble fiber, also important to us, okay? That actually helps with our digestive system, all right? But it also can cause just some uncomfortableness. So when we're eating things that are insoluble fiber, it's important that we drink lots of water or liquid throughout the day. So another reason to drink at least 6 glasses of 8 ounces of water a day, okay? So that's another reason, not just to keep us hydrated, it also helps the body process that insoluble fiber, okay? It also can help, insoluble fiber can help prevent constipation and also helps with diverticulitis if you suffer with that, okay? Also, it can also help reduce the risk. It doesn't totally take it away, but it can reduce your risk for colon cancer. So any whole grain foods and bran are important for that. So these are 2 stomachs. So fiber and whole grains make you feel full, and that's a big to-do. That's a big deal because now you're not going to eat as much other food. So you're going to eat, if you eat a diet filled with lots of refined grains that aren't whole, you're going to eat other foods. You're not going to be full, so you're going to eat other foods. But as you see here in the darker brown stomach, when you eat whole grains, it fills you up. So it fills you up and it stays there longer. So you're not going to eat as much. So you are going to be less in tune to eat other foods, okay? So fiber does that for us. And fiber's in other foods, okay? But it's a lot of fiber in our whole grains. All right, so whole grains contain those B vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber. All right, refined grains, fiber, vitamins, and iron are removed. So remember, that stuff's all removed. Some of those nutrients do get added back in, but that fiber does not get added back in. So that's a key thing with whole grains, and that's one of the reasons why you want to be eating whole grains. That fiber keeps us full longer. So it also helps, eating whole grains also helps regulate our weight a little bit. Okay, it's important. All right, here's our recipe. It's a beefy macaroni and cheese. So this recipe uses, I'm not sure if I sent this recipe to you, John, because I've had so many computer issues.
Right.
This is one that I have to get from a different site. So I'll get it to you. I did send you a recipe, but I don't think it was this one. Anyway, this recipe actually just calls for some meat, ground beef, and tomatoes and cheese. But they, in this recipe, are using lean beef, which is fine. But you can also use turkey meat, okay? Ground turkey's fine. They also are using enriched noodles, but I would recommend using a whole grain noodle, okay? I basically switched over to whole grains a few years ago, many years ago. Gosh, I've been doing the job for 13 years, so at least 12 years ago. And I always tell this story how what I did was I took the regular pasta and the whole grain pasta and I mixed them. And then one time I didn't have the regular pasta. I only had whole grain, so I cooked the whole grain. And no one noticed except for my husband. I had 4 children. My husband says, "This tastes funny." And out of one of my children's mouths came, "Oh, Dad, it does not taste the same." From there on, we stayed with whole grain pasta. So if you haven't tried whole grain pasta, what I suggest is lots of different brands. So you want to try out a few different brands, maybe when they're on sale, and see which one you and your family likes the most. But mixing it in a dish like this can help too, because it does have a little bit of a different flavor to it. All right, I have to apologize to those on the phone. I should have been telling you what all the ingredients were for that. And I apologize, but I will send that recipe out to John. It's some lean beef, noodles, elbow macaronis, can of tomatoes, and so you brown the meat, you cook the elbow macaronis, you mix that all together, add that tomato in, a little, I think it was Italian seasoning, and the cheese, and there you go, you got a meal. All right.
It looked very good. It's one of our family's favorite recipes.
Yes, well, we have something called easy lasagna, and that's a recipe. We don't have it on video, but one of our recipes, it is one of our favorites here as well.
You can see pretty much what was in it. It looked good.
All right, so, you know, another benefit of those whole grains are those antioxidants in whole grains. Selenium is a mineral, right? Lignans are dietary fiber, and then we have vitamin E. These antioxidants are going to help protect our body's cells. So antioxidants are important. There are lots of those antioxidants are in our fruits and veggies, but they're also found in our whole grains. All right, so iron. Our bodies need iron to carry our oxygen, all right, to our cells. It also helps vitamin C. It helps with absorption. It's found in whole grains. And as we age, we really have to make sure we get that iron. You know, iron is important. That's why it's important to maybe have a bowl of cereal and have a little orange juice with it, because that vitamin C helps the absorption of that iron, okay? And that iron is important to carry in oxygen to our cells. So it's very important. All right, so what are our recommendations? Well, they recommend that women get at least 5 ounces of grains a day, and men get 6 ounces of grains. Recommendation is half of those grains to be whole grains. So in and around 3 ounces a day for whole grains. That would be what we would prefer, you know, want people to get. Doesn't mean you have to only eat whole grains. You can eat processed grains, but just try to get into your diet 3 ounces at least of the whole grains. So that popcorn could be a great oatmeal in the morning, popcorn in the afternoon snack. Boom, you at least got 2 ounces pretty much of grains. You just have to grab a whole grain something throughout the day, or have pasta or rice. All right, so what does an ounce look like? So 1 slice of bread, or a half of a bun, a half a cup of cooked pasta, rice, oatmeal and grits, 1 cup dry cereal, 5 to 7 crackers. I just realized I wanted to share something else with you, but we'll do that at the end. So making half of your grains whole again. So you can see here, it's 3 of those slices of bread equal 3 ounces. Those white breads don't have any fiber in it. They're not made, they're enriched. So they're not really giving you any health benefit, okay? Other than the fact, you know, my husband loves grilled cheeses on white bread, okay? I can't get him out of that. I don't bring white bread in my house. He does.
He does.
Yep, he does. And over here you see where the pasta, the brown pasta, the white pasta, like I said, mixing, if you haven't gone to the brown pasta, mixing that together, the whole grain with the enriched grain, and you can get a start on learning to help your taste buds get accustomed to those grains.
Joan,
Yes, you have a question?
there's actually this 647 bread that's white.
I can't hear you. Okay.
There's actually there's a bread called
647. It's white.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 carbs, 40 calories, and 7 grams of fiber.
In one slice?
In one slice. So tell your husband. It's made by Schmidt.
647 bread. Can you
Schmidt.
look at the ingredients? What's the first ingredient?
Water.
What's the second ingredient?
Modified wheat starch.
It's not a whole grain.
And then it's enriched flour.
Okay, so you might be getting fiber in there. I'm not quite sure how they're giving you fiber in that, but it's not giving you the other benefits of whole grain because it's not a whole grain.
But it's funny.
Not a whole grain.
It's given me by a nutritionist for my husband who likes the white bread, which I don't.
Oh, how about that?
That's funny.
That is funny.
But when you said your husband likes it, I was thinking my husband likes it too. So I just bought it the first
I'll
time.
have to look into that. See what?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to look at. Let me see what we look at next. I think we're looking at labels next. Well, no, we're looking at this next. Okay. So whole grain will have some of them. I don't see this label on whole grain as much as I used to. For some reason,
right.
I used to see this a lot. So I'm not quite sure of what happened and why this came off. But you used to see these labels on your whole grain, and it would tell you 100% would be obviously 100% whole grain. Obviously, that was what this product was made with 100% grain, whole grain. Whereas the next product's only made with 50%, which is maybe what that 647 bread is made with. Maybe it is only 50%, or maybe it's less than that, 20 grams of whole grain. So it has some whole grain in it. It just doesn't have all the whole grain. That makes sense.
I'm trying to look. It doesn't say.
Yeah, that could be. I'm gonna have to look. That what was it, 647?
Yeah, but it's funny on the back. If you can see, it says grains for life.
Okay.
There's a grains for life
I
thing.
gotta check that out. Gotta check all this stuff out. You never know what they're really doing.
Right.
All right, so making half your grains whole, that would be, you know, whole wheat, whole oats and oatmeal, grain, any corn. You know, corn, I always get that question from the kids. They're cute. They'll say to me, I'll ask them for a grain, and somebody always notoriously says to me, corn's a grain. And I'm like, you are absolutely correct. It can be a grain or it can be a vegetable. So corn, popcorn, you know, brown rice, whole rye.
And you can get a tortilla with whole
rice.
grain.
Pardon me?
You can get a flat tortilla.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
And it's whole grain.
You get those, in a whole grain tortilla. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Some common tricks. All right. They might call things brown bread. Well, it could be brown, but it probably has molasses or something else added to it to give it its color. Could be a fancy name. So it could say it has multi-grain, 7-grain, stone ground, all right? But they're not whole grains. And your whole grains should always be the very first ingredient. So when you do label reading, and eventually we'll get to label reading, but when we do label reading, we always have to look at those, the ingredients on something. And when you look at the ingredients, the first thing that's on that ingredient list is the thing that is in that product the most. So if you see water, like that bread, there must be a lot of water in that bread. I'm not quite sure what that's about. But lots of times that's where you're looking for sugar, high fructose corn syrup. You see those kind of things in the beginning of it. You know, if you see those types of things down low, it doesn't have too much. But if it's in those first 5 ingredients, then it's in there. So you want to see whole grains as that first ingredient. 3 or 4, it's still in there, but it may not be as much. So you do just want to always check that. All right, so let's look. All right, so you can see here, fiber at 14%. You want to check your whole grain content, compare your serving sizes. Always look up here. You have to eat a cup of cooked, whatever it is, to get that 4 grams. You know, a half a cup would be 2 grams, okay? So just, you want to try and choose food with 5 to 10% daily value of fiber or higher. So fiber or higher. So you can see here, 14%. That would be a good source of fiber. All right, so here you go. When you're looking at bread, you can see the ingredients. The whole wheat bread has whole wheat flour. Right out of the gate, it has whole wheat flour. So you know that that's in there a lot because it's there. It's the main ingredient. On the other side, the white bread you see, enriched wheat flour. Once you see that word enriched, game's over. That means they've pulled the endosperm and the bran, the bran and the germ out, and they've only left the endosperm. And when that happens, they're taking all the good stuff out of it. Okay, they might be able to put back some of those nutrients, but they're not the nutrients that were from that whole wheat, that whole grain. So you really want to be looking at those types of things. You can see with the whole wheat bread, you're getting at least 2 grams of fiber for, I guess it's per slice. Usually it's per slice. Let me see what Ryan says. Yes, per slice. Yeah, 1 slice.
Joan.
Maybe if I read that, yes.
I eat Ezekiel bread, and that has a lot of fiber, but it's not really made with flour. So have you heard of that bread?
I have not, but you know what? You brought up a pretty important thing is a lot of people can't eat flour.
Right.
You know, a lot of people can't eat the lots of grains because of being celiac or having some sort of a problem.
It has a huge amount of fiber because it's like a sprouted type of.
Oh, okay, right, okay, yep, okay. So that's Ezekiel?
Yes. You can get it from Whole Foods, Trader Joe, Martindale's, any of those stores. You might even get it from Giant now, because Giant is rolling.
Yes.
It's rolling, yeah.
That is it for our lesson. Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Anyone, oh, did I miss something in the chat? Flaxseed, okay. So anyone have any questions about whole grains or anything like that, or about the evaluation? Because you're going to hear from me on that evaluation. I'm going to get some calendars together. I'm going to order them as soon as I get a computer back, and we'll get them out to you guys just for showing up today.
One
Any
question.
questions on the tele?
Yes.
After
Yes.
Federico, let Federico go first. Go ahead, Federico. Let the guy go, because he was speaking before me.
Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions on the teleconference line?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one question. The question I wanted to ask, because Joan asked, what would be considered, besides for popcorn, good snacks for whole grain?
I mean, popcorn is going to be your best whole grain. Again, you'd have to look at your food label. I'm sure there are some good choices out there. You know what probably would be a good rice cake, maybe?
Oh, okay, okay.
All right.
That's a good one. Okay.
You know, rice cake, you could maybe, okay, so Rita says, anyone aware of a real bread bakery such as Metropolitan Bakery or Sky? Delco has zilch.
Okay.
I don't know of any really bakeries that make bread. You know, there's a lot of bakeries we have out there, but I don't know of any that make bread.
Yeah.
I'm sure Media would have something. Media seems to have lots of those little bakery type places. So I don't know of any.
Yeah, I've tried everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like the supermarket, they're, you know, they hold grains, but there's 15 other ingredients. Where
Yeah.
you go to a real artisan bakery, they only have 4 or 5. You know,
Yes.
what you need to make bread. It doesn't last 3 weeks.
Right.
Right. Then you know it's got a bunch of junk in it.
Yeah, you're Reading Terminal to get it. So,
Yeah.
okay, just wanted to know if I was missing out on something. Thank you.
Well, maybe, as John said, I think he said in the chat, you should open up your own.
I wish I could bake.
There you go.
I just looked up on the Ezekiel bread. The first ingredient is organic sprouted wheat,
Okay.
and then water, and then organic sprouted barley, and then organic sprouted millet,
Yeah.
and then organic sprouted. You know, there's that's what you were talking about, the Ezekiel. You can get them at Target too.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, yeah, Target too. See, I told you,
Yeah.
it's a very good bread, and if you like,
It is. It's very good. So
if
why
you
can't you
like,
put like a peanut butter on that?
there you go. There you go.
Sure.
Yeah, Giant has Alvarado Street, which is also sprouted like that. If you can't find Ezekiel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rita,
Yeah,
thanks.
it's called Alvarado Street.
Okay.
Okay. All
Any,
right.
any
Any other
questions on the conference line?
Anything from the conference line?
Nope, all quiet there.
All right.
June, I have one more question about popcorn. I have found, talking to a couple people who have inflammation, they find popcorn very inflammatory. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't think it has any inflammatory anything other than maybe some salt that might be in it. But even at that, like this bag of 5/8 ounce has 100 calories. You know, it's 5% of your daily value for salt. You know, your salt intake.
I think it more from the corn part. The corn is inflammatory to them, I think. Is that something you find often?
I don't know, but I'll check it out.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joan. What is next month's topic?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I have to tell you, the last few days with my computer and everything. I was so just wanted to get this. I wanted to do this today. I was so afraid.
Yep.
I almost canceled. And then when Britt was, because I was going to have Britt do it, and then she's telling me she's having connection problems, and I thought, well, I got to dive in. I got to see if I can.
And you
just,
did okay, Joan.
I
You did
can do
okay.
this. And I wanted to share so much this time. Like I wanted to stop and share, and I didn't do any exercise. That's what I'm just realizing. We didn't do any exercise, but that's okay. And I want to thank all of you for coming, first of all, today. But I don't know if any of you were on the call last month. I want to thank you guys, too, because last month, Brittany and I were being evaluated by not just our supervisor, but by the state, and then even the funding people that fund our program. And we didn't get notice that that was happening until Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And I was off those 2 days. So when I came back on Friday, that's when I found out that they were going to be in on our call. So if Britt and I didn't sound so relaxed or calm or whatever, we were a little tight, that was why.
You did a great job that day. I'm sure that the evaluation went very well.
Okay. We, of course, they always find something wrong, but that's okay. It was nothing major.
Okay.
Nothing major. So.
Good.
All right. So, John and Farrah, I will let you know what the next topic will be. Brittany, maybe
I'm going to go back to the screen share and put up the rest of the
Wait a minute,
of the
John.
upcoming programs. Yeah.
John, I like
Yep.
your little picture. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I like to hide myself. Here, I'll
I know.
start my
I do
video.
too sometimes.
There you
Yeah.
go. Now you,
there you go. The real you looks good.
Yes. It almost imitates. Yep. Good.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. And we'll see you next month. I will be in touch through Farrah and John. And if anyone would like to be in touch with me, John and Farrah can get you my email information. You are always more than welcome to shoot me an email. And with these evaluations, again, if you would prefer me to do it with you over the phone, I have no problem with that. So, again, I will have some incentives. I will send calendars to everybody for partaking today. But then if you do fill out my evaluations, I'll have some things for you. Okay.
awesome.
Especially
Thank you
that.
so much, Joan. Thank you, everybody,
Thanks,
for being
Joan.
here.
Thank you.
Join us
See you,
tomorrow.
John, and everybody else. Take
All
care.
right.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Have a good week, everyone.
You
too.
too.